Good morning, everybody. So I wanted to jump on and just do a brief interview with the fabulous Kimmy of the Weekly Juicery. And I wanted her to talk about why we use this amazing juice ritual in weeks 4, 5, and 6 of the program, and what makes this product so superior to your health and your well-being versus something that you may find locally or get off a grocery shelf. Because I'm constantly asked by clients, is there a substitute for the juice ritual that we recommend from the Weekly Juicery? And honestly, there isn't. And I think Kimmy's really going to tell us today the benefits of juicing once a week, as well as why this product is of the highest quality. Welcome, Kimmy.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. You know, guys, I love talking all things juice, and when I get to do that, it's a good day. So thank you for having me. I've been making juice a long time. I've been making juice since before juice was sort of the thing, actually. So there's probably not a question that I can't answer. And we're all about education. So if there's something I don't answer on this video, you guys reach out to me and we'll get it answered for you. The big thing about drinking juice is it has such an amazing, powerful transformation ability for your health journey. But there's sort of things that you have to be really considerate when you're making juice and when you're using juice inside of a program like you guys are in now, to really make sure that it's elevating for your health journey and not sort of the contrary. So yes, I really frame our day of juice not as necessarily a juice cleanse. And I'll talk about why that is. I talk about it as a juice ritual or a day of juice, a day that is incredibly elevating for your health journey, a day that's very powerful in your day of fasting, which is incredibly important in you guys' program, instead of the juice cleanse. So first off, Amanda, you know this, your body has the ability to cleanse itself. If it did not, then juice or otherwise, we all wouldn't be here. We would all be in a really deteriorated state of health. What the juice ritual or a day of juice does for you, yes, it gives you this day of digestive rest, incredibly important, but it also floods your body with micronutrients, enzymes, bacteria, everything that your body needs as a machine to sort of run on nature's perfect fuel. And that's sort of the big power punch. I get the question a lot, and you probably do too, Amanda, of, you know, how is your juice different than any juice that I could buy at a grocery store or at my local juice bar? And so I'll talk about that too. But first off, I want to say that when you are drinking or doing a day of juice or a day of fasting, it is really, really important that you think about two things. Number one, if the juices that you're drinking are not certified organic, you would be better off just doing the day of water fast. Because the water fasting, and Amanda, you weigh in here, is really, really powerful. So if you're somebody who already craves lots of fruits and vegetables, you're somebody who doesn't have trouble walking past the chip aisle at the grocery on Sunday when you're doing your meal planning, you're somebody who walks right past your coworker's desk of M&Ms and Easter candies or whatever the holiday is, and you just walk past, then you know what? A day of a water fast is a perfect choice. It gives you a day of digestive rest. Your body has that break. It can heal itself. It can rejuvenate itself. A reason to consider adding in juice would be that, boy, keeping yourself out of the chip aisle on Sunday at the grocery is so hard. And when you're giving your children some goldfish crackers or some pretzels, you just can't bear to keep your hand out of there also. You know, like that sort of thing. Or that on, you know, you need something sweet after you eat, like that sort of like pattern. Then a day of juice, is just what, you know, it will actually do the trick for you. It helps redirect your taste buds to really crave lots of plants and lots of fruits, and it does not want to have the sort of simple carbs that sort of plague our health journey or sugary candies. So that's a big reason to maybe do juice versus water. If you're going to do juice, then you need to make sure that there are sort of two big things. One, that your juice is organic. If it's not organic and it's not certified organic, first of all, if it does not have the USDA seal, folks, it's not organic. It's just not organic. So you want that insurance policy. What you're paying for this is expensive. You want it to be certified organic. That's your insurance policy, that nothing is in that bottle that's not certified organic and came from a farm. That's a USDA certified organic farm. Super important. Number two, you want your juice to be vegetable centric. If your green juice has 15 ounces of apple and 1 piece of kale, it is going to be green. I promise you guys it will be green. It will be green. But what's going to happen to you when you drink that green juice, that's 15 ounces of apple juice and 1 ounce of kale, your body's going to have an insulin response. And Amanda, this is your ticket. Like, you preach it, girl. Your body's going to have an insulin response. And when that happens, the fast is off.
Right.
Your day of fast turned into an hour of fast because you bought a green juice that was really apple juice with 1 piece of kale. Are you down with?
Absolutely. And I see that all the time.
Yeah.
With just especially juices on the shelf, you know, you look at it, it's like 100% juice, but it's 100% fruit juice.
Right.
And it's got, 50 grams of sugar in it.
Right.
And that is not what we're looking for here.
Yeah, that is like no good for the home team. Like home team 0 on that note. And so your whole day, remember the whole reason we're doing this, folks, and in the Faster Way programs, you do this day of fasting to give your body this day of rest. Give it time to rejuvenate and heal itself, because we typically overeat. We typically eat too many times a day. So this is a really powerful day for you. And you don't want to mess it up with 1 hour of fasting because your juices had too much fruit sugar. So that's a big thing. And sometimes if you're buying juice, you really have to be a discerning juice drinker. And that's simply to say, you've got to read that label. You've got to look for the USDA organic seal, and you need to make sure that your juices have hopefully no fruit, but green apple, if it's included, should be near the very bottom. Yeah. Juice companies should be listing their ingredients in order of dominance. So if you look at a bottle of our green lemonade as an example, which is always in our day of juice or our juice ritual day, it has a whole head of romaine, 12 stalks of kale, a cucumber, a lemon, and an inch of fresh ginger. And the ingredients are listed in that order because romaine is first. It is the most component of the juice. So I really do want to make sure if you guys are buying juice locally, and I will support any juice bar doing great work all day long, because I think it's so important. If they're certified organic and if they're making juice for you that is vegetable centric, and it can have an ounce of orange, but that should be near the very bottom. It could have an ounce of green apple, although I would prefer it didn't, but it needs to be near the way bottom of the list. That way you know, okay, I'm getting an abundance of plant power. That's what I want you guys to focus on. Like, this juice ritual thing and this day of juice is going to flood my body with plants, with plant power. That's what makes your skin look amazing, your hair look amazing, your energy levels soar, your taste buds redirect, your body move from an acidic place to an alkaline space where you don't crave those acidic things anymore. That's the huge power punch of this day of fasting with a day of juice. And there is sort of my testimony on what you should be looking for.
Yeah. And that's, for me, when I, was learning more about juicing and things like that, to really have an understanding of how much produce, how much vegetables it takes to make that one thing of juice. That's why the purpose of organic is so important, because the pesticide load in regular celery and regular lettuce, you're just juicing, Monsanto chemicals, and you're drinking that in a concentrated form.
Yes.
So that's why that organic symbol is so important.
I would even argue that
volume. What now?
Yes, I would make the argument that if you guys are going out to a restaurant, and I do not buy conventional food at home ever. If it's not available organically for me, it doesn't get purchased. That makes you have to be creative, but it doesn't get purchased in my house. But I'm not a crazy human. So if I'm out for dinner with Amanda, we live in the same town, and we're out for dinner and I order a salad, well, it's probably not going to be organic, and that's okay. But if I'm going to drink a bottle of juice where there is over 3 pounds of produce in one bottle, but a day of juice is going to be 6 of those, so 18 pounds of produce, then you better believe a pesticide, an insecticide, a germicide load is dangerous. It is not just not a good idea, it's dangerous, because what many people don't realize is most of those chemical applications to the plants require full face respiration, not just like a little mask, but full face respiration for the applicator. And the plant can't do its job. I want the plant to be able to really rejuvenate, restore, really have this amazing healing ability for everyone's body. And if it's been systemically and structurally and chemically altered, you can't do that.
Right.
So, all bets are off.
I think that's always, number one. You've got to realize how much produce that they're processing to make these juices. That's and then the other thing that you said in terms of being veggie centric, I can tell, it's so funny because literally you can put a handful of spinach in with a banana, a strawberry, a blueberry, and poof, it's green,
I do it to my children all the time.
Yeah, exactly. But you're drinking just concentrated sugar, and that's not what it's about. It's about finding that juice that is super heavy on the veggie side, for sure.
That's right. And I'm not a fruit hater, guys. And I think maybe I'm going to be pegged at on the internet these days, but I'm not a fruit hater. Every single morning I use organic frozen mango or organic frozen cherries or organic frozen berries for smoothies for my children. Now it also has, that's why I said I do it to my children every day, also has a whole blender full of spinach and kale. But, they need, I want this to taste really great for them. I want them to really adapt this lifestyle. So every morning, that's what they drink. The deal with the smoothie, though, guys, is that it still has the fiber inside. So your body can, yes, take the sugars from the fruit, and it has a fiber along with it to really sort of move through the body's system. When I'm making juice for you, all the insoluble fiber is removed in the juice extraction process. And I'm also not a fiber hater. I will say that, but fiber doesn't belong in juice, because remember, we want our body to be at digestive rest. Right. It is the day of fasting. It is that day of rest. That's incredibly, and Amanda, I know you've done some videos on fasting and the effects it has on the body. It's amazing. So if your body has the fiber from the fruit or the fiber from the veggie, then it's digesting something. Remember, juice is like putting an IV of straight vegetable power into your body. A smoothie, totally different, has the fiber in. So if you're going to use fruit, and you love fruit, and I do too, then do that in a smoothie. Don't do it in juice. Does that, that's...
Yeah, no, because the fiber slows down the absorption of the sugar,
Right.
So they both have benefits, but in different ways.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I tell my clients, because they're like, well, what's the benefit of, juicing versus the benefit of doing the, the water fast or the bone broth? Mm-hmm. And, basically my analogy is kind of what you always say, is that, a day of juice is literally just flooding your body with just mass amounts of nutrients and antioxidants. And I love, like, when you talk about, because your juice is cold pressed, it is not pasteurized, it is not processed, it expires very quickly. And there's a reason for that, because there are live living organisms in this juice. And one of the biggest things that we try to focus on in the programs I run is just improving our gut health.
Right.
And these are things that during this juice, day of juice, that's what we're doing, is just supporting that gut health. Can you talk a little bit more about that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So, one of the things I have been, like I said, folks, I think I love juice, and I love everything about it. And I love the ability that it has to transform people's health. And so just recently, I've been doing a lot of work with a microbiologist and a chemist, if you guys can imagine. I don't have the science background, so the whole thing is really fascinating to me. So I actually took green lemonade and Cool Kale Energy. Green lemonade is always in our day of juice. Number one, it's my personal favorite, so therefore it's in. Number two, it just is the best, really. So I want everyone to learn to love it. So I took it to a lab and actually looked at it under a microscope, which was amazing. I looked at it, let's say time one, so right after it came out of our cooler, and 30 minutes later. And I wish that I could show you guys the sort of bacteria and the count of the alive organisms in this juice. It would astound you. Some 200,000 counts of spores, really amazing. And so that is exactly what our GI system needs for optimal health. It needs that sort of like watering and flourish to really be healthy and thrive. And so I can think of no better way to do that. There are obviously great prebiotic, probiotic things that you can incorporate into your diet, but the juice is really alive. It's really, I mean, I could see it's like an alive, living thing. And that is incredibly powerful for your GI. It keeps you from getting sick, helps remove inflammation. I mean, the whole thing, it's amazing.
Yeah, and so even when you go to the grocery store and you buy a juice that is organic, it's not going to have those live organisms in them because of the pasteurization, correct? Am I right?
That's correct. That's correct. So there's really two ways of preserving juice, and many juices in the grocery will say not pasteurized, and that's great. Some of them will say treated with a high pressure processing. And that I've actually learned a ton about that technology from the chemist and from the lab. And what I've learned is that, that actually gives the bacteria just a big hit. It doesn't necessarily kill them. But the problem with grocery store juices is that they've literally probably been on that shelf for 30 to 45 days. If you are going to drink them within 3 or 4 days after the treatment, that would be fine. But you really, folks, just kind of can't buy juice at grocery stores, in my humble opinion. You can even see the way that it looks. The vibrancy is gone. It looks this dull green instead of vibrant green. And if you put my juice beside this grocery store juice, even if they're both organic, even if it just has lost its vibrancy, and it's simply because it's been on a shelf for 30 days. Okay, so it's safe to drink, but does that mean it's good to drink? Not in my opinion. So I really do think, juice should have shelf life of under 6 days. It should be really alive and very vibrant. It should be living, right? Because it's these living things, these living plants, this living juice that's like that IV of like the power punch to your health journey. And without the alive component, what it's doing for our GI health is certainly off, right?
Right.
That would just be, kind of green water, if you want to think of it that way.
Yeah.
So nothing that's, I don't know how, I hope I'm not contradicting something you say in this. I hope not, but in my humble opinion, if you shouldn't be putting anything in your body that can be preserved for 30 days. You would want everything coming in to be super, super fresh and super alive. And that way your body can process it really efficiently, right?
No, absolutely. And I think, I'm always a proponent of, if you're going to do something, do it right and do it the best.
Yep.
I love like bulletproof coffee, and the MCT oil is a really good representation of that.
Using that. Yeah.
You can buy really crappy lauric acid MCT oil that's not going to do anything, but it's cheap.
Right.
Or you can buy, high quality caprylic acid, which is going to give you the most benefit. So there's no point. And so in my mind, I'm like, you either do it right or don't do it at all. And that's really how I feel about considering the juice cleanse, or the juice ritual in weeks 4, 5, and 6. And that's why I really wanted to bring you on to, let my clients realize, why we picked this particular product, why we think it's the best, why we do this or we just don't recommend anything at all. And
yeah, that's really true. And like I said, there are reasons and clients where a water fast, a day of water is going to be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Where I really think the day of juice plays in is this idea that you are getting this explosion of vegetables and plants into your body that otherwise you couldn't get in such abundance. Your body couldn't handle eating all of 18 pounds of produce. It just couldn't.
Exactly.
But if you have the ability to easily flood your body with this infusion of plants, then it's a huge win. It's a huge win for somebody. If you need a redirection of your taste buds, nothing works better.
Absolutely.
Nothing. In my opinion, it's like ripping off the Band-Aid for craving sugar and simple complex carbs. I personally don't believe that's something you can do kind of a little bit. I think that's one of those just rip the Band-Aid off. And a day of juice will do that for you. Also, if you're somebody who's just been feeling kind of low energy, just sort of like blah, a day of juice is I mean, you wake up feeling like $1 million. So those are some reasons. But a water fast, if you're somebody who loves vegetables, you're somebody who says, oh yeah, I shave raw beet on my salad all the time for sweetness. Or you're somebody who says, yeah, my lunch is a handful of raw carrots and celery, a little sea salt, and that's really attractive to you, then a day of water will do the trick.
Absolutely.
Say those things,
Yeah.
then juice could move you to that point.
Absolutely.
And it's cumulative. I know you know this. The more you do the juice work, the more you feel it. And the more your body becomes, think of it like a tuning fork. Your body gets tuned into this frequency of craving more of the same.
Absolutely. Yes. And I think, when we roll into weeks 4, 5, and 6, my clients, they're feeling really good. Their diet is really tight. The fat is working. And I see it as just like that way to take it to the next step, to elevate what you're doing and how you're feeling. So I just encourage you guys, if you're interested in, dabbling in a juice day, a day of juice, if you want to know how you feel, you want to do the best. And I think incorporating it at some point in those last 3 weeks is just a great way. Plus, it's just like the juice ritual that you do with your clients.
Yeah.
Us doing it all together is amazing, because
it really is amazing.
We're all loving the green lemonade. Maybe we're hating the plenty of plants, I mean, everybody has a different response to the juice, which I love.
Me too.
But the bottom line is that, as a community, we're doing it together. We're elevating our health, and it's just such an awesome option. So
yeah, and thank you. And if you haven't ever, I always say this to people, if you have never experienced what you feel like after a day of juice, really high quality vegetable juice, you're missing out, in my opinion. It is really amazing. And you've done it, man. So you can sort of speak, you wake up the next day, your skin feels brighter. You just have this, I don't know. You're tuned in to a much higher frequency that plants provide. And
I have never, ever felt better than when I come off a 3-day juice cleanse. Like my nose isn't running. I have 0 sinus issues. My belly feels good. It's just, I almost hate to go back to eating solid food because you feel so amazing. So
you know what I'm going to do, Amanda? I'm going to recruit you with me this summer. Once a year, I do a 10 to 12 day all juice. You have to drink only green lemonade for 10 to 12 days. And I had a few people do it with me last year. And I mean, we had more fun laughing and sort of making it through together. So if you like it, if you've done it long, I'm recruiting you this summer. You'll love it.
I'm in. If any of y'all want to do it with us, let us know.
If you want to do it with us, we can hook you up. It's I never feel better in my life than I do after that. And including
I agree.
The clarity of your mind, like you're just dialed into a different frequency. So I would love to have you guys do some juice work with us. If in your later weeks of this program you want to do it, I would love to have you, and I'm happy to help you in any way I can. If we haven't answered your questions, I'll make sure Amanda knows how you can get to me, because I'm all about it. And I promise you, it's probably a juice question that I can't answer. I know a lot about this work.
He knows a lot.
And my final thought is like, if the green lemonade is something that doesn't taste amazing to you the first time you drink it, the more you need it. And that's always my preaching. I could make juice taste amazing. I could have Amanda come here and I would give her a juice that had lots of fruit and it would taste amazing, but it wouldn't be doing what I want it to do. Right. And so my job is to make a juice that is so powerful and has just an amazing ability of transformation, not something that tastes good. So that's and I think it actually tastes amazing, but I want everything.
I do too. I love it. So basically next week, we're going to be rolling into week 4, probably maybe 5 or 6. How it works is that if you want to participate in the 1-day juice ritual, then you will place your order by Sunday. The nice thing about this is that it's shipped directly to your door. You'll get it usually Tuesday or Wednesday. Perfect time to do the juicing on Thursday with the rest of us doing the 24-hour fast.
Right.
And the best thing is it comes with instructions on what order to do the juice with. There's even a option for a one-on-one consult if you have questions about the juice. They have an email team that's super beneficial, super helpful. So lots of support. I mean, obviously I'm here for support, but Kimmy has amazing team that's there for support if you, again, purchase this amazing product. So I'll be putting the link in the group in the weekly email, so you'll have access to that. Give it a try. Thank you, Kimmy. I really appreciate
you so much for having me. And
yeah.
guys, I'm so excited for you making this through. This program is amazing. I've done it several times, and it too is really transformational. So good work.
Education is key. Education is key. Okay, guys, you have a wonderful evening, afternoon, or morning. Talk to you soon.